Hello, friends, foes, and all of the hoes. It's your boys, Meta Knight and Kirby.
Yo, it's Kirby.
Back at it again with Pod 4. We've had a lot of fun recording these. At least I have. I don't know about, Scrooge McDuck.
Oh, I love...
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, what? Bro, come on. I love editing them.
Scrooge. Yeah, it seems like a lot of fun. So we're back, week 4. This is a month of doing it pretty consistently, so that's pretty hype.
Yeah.
I guess we've been saving this topic for a while, even before the podcast started, but I think we'll start it off with arguing about COD. When was the golden age? When did it start and when did it end? Obviously, the golden age of things is usually the best, and then you usually have silver and modern, and it usually kind of goes down from there. Not always, but there can always be gems.
Yeah. I guess I'll start it off. I think, personally, I would probably say the golden age of Call of Duty, I think, is probably Modern Warfare 2 to Black Ops 2. Now, I think a lot of people would probably put COD 4 and War Without War in there as well. I think those are... They were just too... I guess... They weren't fleshed out as much as like Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 1 was. So I think you could definitely put them in there with those other games. But I think they were sort of the transition period from like when COD was just a World War II shooter and like had no sprinting or anything like that to like a established, formula.
Ooh, okay.
I think you have to. I think you just have to have Black Ops 2 as the cutoff point.
Okay, so I will say I agree with you on the fact that Black Ops 2 is the cutoff point. Now maybe we can. I guess, and the reason I agree is because Black Ops 2, one, it was the game right before Ghost, which universally is not a very good COD game. I don't know if it just didn't have enough time in the oven, if Ghost was just them unsure of how they wanted to mix up the series. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but Black Ops 2, it had nice movement. It had pretty good balance. It was, I felt like one of the most fair and polished COD games of all time. It didn't have advanced movement, which of course is a big plus for me. And the pistols, like for me, the gun balance in Black Ops 2, I think, is what made it so great. The pistols hit like trucks. Almost all the guns had their benefits. If they didn't hit like a truck, they usually had a really fast fire rate. If they didn't have either of those things, usually they provided some other form of like benefit, like maybe really high headshot percent, things like that. Like the game, I don't know, it was such a perfect balance of all the elements: gun balance, movement, and I would almost argue like the score streaks too played a big like role in how the game flowed. I don't know, I just think it's probably the perfect COD game. I still like Modern Warfare 3 more, but Black Ops 2 is definitely, I think, up there.
I mean, yeah, Black Ops 2, it had, to add on to your point, it had things for all different play styles. You had the shock sticks and the claymores for the campers, and you had, you could place down the riot shield and then have an LMG on your class to just like lock down a doorway if you wanted to. Or you could have, stun grenades and rush around with the like MSMC or PDW. There's just so many different ways to play, and with the, we saw this with the Pick 10 system, the score streaks. The game right after Call of Duty Ghost was in development during Black Ops 2, But every other game after Ghost used the pick 10 system and the score streak system, and I think that just shows how good those systems were. I don't know why they've like in recent years kind of reverted back to like kill streaks and not doing pick 10.
Yeah. I for the life of us, we can't seem to figure that one out. I don't know why they ever backtracked on that.
Yeah, and pick 10 was like simple. You know, you had to make sacrifices because you only had 10 things to put on. So, you know, stun grenades weren't as spammed as they are nowadays because, you know, you get stun grenades now for free and you get regular grenades for free. So the grenades are crazy now in these newer ones. Whereas back in the day with Black Ops 2, you could, you know, maybe you didn't want a stun grenade because you want an extra attachment, or maybe you want an extra perk or something like that.
Yeah, and a lot of times there were just better tacticals, like the Black Hat, for example. I think they nerfed it eventually, but you used to be able to take down a UAV in about 3 seconds just by aiming it at a UAV up in the sky.
Yeah, I mean, but even after the nerf, it was still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many cool things that they experimented with too. I thought the EMP in that game was pretty good.
Oh yeah,
because of like
we'd run so many EMPs.
Yeah, all I ever did was run like Black Hats and EMPs. I never really ran any lethals in that game. I will say, like, the EMPs had such a big radius for disabling things, and that was back whenever they would like one-shot turrets, and just go absolutely nuts. But
and you still had trophy systems and stuff like that, so you could counter.
You did
a lot of the grenades. And trophy systems weren't a field upgrade; they were. I believe they were tactical, so they would counter everything, you know, in the grenade slot.
And
they were grenade
feel
themselves.
like as it should be. I don't like trophies being moved into a field upgrade. Because it's you have to wait forever to get one, and I feel like if you want to counter grenades, you should just be able to counter a grenade. It's just a grenade, but. I guess that's just not the philosophy anymore. So I think you and I are on a consensus that it's probably the most balanced COD and the best COD, honestly.
Yeah, and it was the COD where the whole competitive scene really started to pop off. You know, and in COD 4 there was like the pro mod, but that was more on the PC side, and it was a lot smaller of a competitive scene. But Black Ops 2 was where it like really popped off with a lot of the console players, you know, bigger tournaments, and the fact that specifically, you know, trophy systems are a big thing for Call of Duty competitive because, you know, it helps you break the point, or it helps you hold the point, you know, and from people throwing grenades, and I think it just makes it more competitive because you have to actually win gunfights instead of stunning people and then, you know, winning based off of their, you know, being affected.
Yeah. I mean, there was so much counterplay in Black Ops 2 as well. Like, the time to kill was really, really high. I do remember that. It always gave people a chance to respond, like you were saying. And I don't know. There was just the right ingredients.
There was a lot of. Yeah, it was. You know, everything that you could put on something that would do the opposite, right?
Yes.
Or have, you know, counter. So, like, you had dead silence, and then you also had awareness. But awareness was not, like, it wouldn't make people who had dead silence have, like, deafening, or just, like...
elephant steps?
Yeah, I guess deafening footsteps, you know? Like, super loud footsteps.
Elephant steps,
but
boys.
You could hear like a larger radius of people who weren't using dead silence, and then dead silence was still like pretty dampening, but it wasn't like it is nowadays where it's like crazy. You can hear everything, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There maybe,
and even then, the regular footstep audio was not that loud. I mean, you could barely hear it.
No.
Because there was like rustling in the map, and you know, it was very hard to pick out footsteps.
Yeah, in those older CODs, it really was. I don't know. It's such a better balance of ingredients. I don't even know. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe that'll probably be an episode for sure, one where we just suck off Black Ops 2 the whole time. But
Yeah, I think we glazed it enough.
Yeah, I think we glazed it up. Now, as I said, I agreed with you that the end of the Golden Age is definitely Black Ops 2. I am kind of one of those people that thinks that COD 4, even though I would say you and I never played COD 4. We played World at War, but it was like 2 years after it came out. And we played Modern Warfare 2, but that was like a year because we started around Black Ops Modern Warfare 3.
I think we played MW2 like 3 years, and then World at War like 4 years. But back then, I mean, I don't think the COD, now when there's so many Call of Duty games that the COD fan base is like so split between every one of them. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get. I mean, it's hard to even get a match in those old COD games now.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure the hackers they were prolific in Modern Warfare 2. Whenever you and I would go back and play, even back then, and in World at War, so I can't imagine what any of these games.
Oh no, Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is like unplayable now.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think COD 4 is probably the start, and I only say that because there is like a discernible jump from me between, COD 3 to COD 4. I mean, just graphically, movement wise, and then theming. It wasn't World War II anymore. That was the worst kind of thing, but it really was like a big jump into better balance, better movement, better equipment, more complex class systems. I mean, map design was simplified, which made for better flow. I mean, these are all things that I think really do kind of indicate a shift in how they made the games.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, it's. I don't think it's anything on the quality of the games because whenever COD 4 Remastered came out, I played that like so much, and I do really love COD 4. Mm-hmm. I just think, I think personally, I like to, whenever I like categorize things, I like to get real deep and specific with it, and I think with COD 4 and World at War, I just think they're a little different than like Modern Warfare 2 and onwards.
Are they using
but
I
definitely
engine?
I mean, they're using the same engine, but what I mean is I think the pro perks that were in Modern Warfare 2 and the amount of quick scoping started basically with Modern Warfare 2, and every element that was in Modern Warfare 2 carried on and then into the next 3 games.
Yeah. Okay. And that's enough for you to categorize it as the start. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's more complex than COD 4 and World at War.
But I guess. I mean, wasn't COD 4 the first one with a creative class?
Yeah, but I mean, it's nothing like it is now, though. Or it's nothing like it is even with Black Ops 2, right?
Well, yeah, I wish we could go back to Black Ops 2.
Because remember, you couldn't even pick. You only could pick grenades. That was the only option for lethals. You could pick. You had 3. You had stun, flash, smoke. That was your tacticals.
Okay.
And then you had 3 perks and gun and attachment. That was it for COD 4 and pistol, I guess. But with Modern Warfare 2, you had gun, and then if you had bling, the bling perk, you could have 2 attachments, and attachment on your secondary, lethal tacticals. You had 8 for each option of those, and then you had the death streak. So I think it was a little, the classes were a little more complex with Modern Warfare 2, and that's why I think I separate the games.
I guess
that way.
I mean, if I were... Yeah, I would say...
I think you could categorize World at War and COD 4 as the pre-Golden Era, and then the Golden Era was Modern Warfare 2 to Black Ops 2.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, that might make it all part of the same era, but yeah, I get what you're saying, yeah.
Well, and then the first three would be like primitive. I don't know. The primitive era.
Yeah. Or like Bronze Age.
The dinosaur?
I guess. Bronze Age.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, true.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I know this is the one thing that I think you and I have like majority consensus on, so but yeah, I really do miss those old games. Quite a bit. I think Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 3 will still always hold the most nostalgia, but Black Ops 2 is probably the best COD. It's high up there.
I mean, yeah, Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 1 Zombies, I think those are the only two game modes that we've consistently played throughout, like, years and years.
Survival and Zombies, yeah.
Yeah. We always come back to it,
We do. Every once in a while, I still even get on since we bought Modern Warfare.
You just boot it up?
Yeah, since we bought Modern Warfare 3 on our PCs, I just boot it up and play Survival sometimes.
Yeah,
and
I tried to complete. I try to complete some of the Spec Ops missions, just to, I don't know, just because I've done Survival so much. I wish they had brought Survival and had a camo system that you could do, and prestige. You could prestige and reset your rank and go through another prestige and keep doing that. Kind of like Black Ops 3 Zombies had, where you could just keep prestiging and keep progressing.
Yeah.
But they never brought it back.
Oof.
I mean, I guess they've brought survival mode back, but it's never been as good as the original.
And they always call it survival mode, but it's never really survival mode.
Yeah, it's it's an imitation, I guess.
Oh yeah. It's it's just never had like the old school format of like going and finding the boxes, buying gear, all that. I mean, it's never returned to the same. But yeah, I don't know. RIP. You can always go back and play it, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess
we're sounding like old geezers.
Old geezers. Back in my day, COD was so much better. I guess we should move on to our latest squeeze. Tekken, of course. Tekken 8.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ooh! Tekken 8 is really, really good. And the Modern Combat fans are big salty, dude. Big salty.
Modern Combat?
The Modern Combat. That's what I call it. Mortal Kombat boys, they're salty ones.
Yeah. Yeah, they've had a lot of issues with their game. And it's taken the devs like 6 months, to fix the issues that were in the game from day one. Whereas, Tekken 8 had a pretty rough launch. It was basically like whenever you clicked on the rank mode, it would try to match you against someone. As soon as you got into a match with someone, it would disconnect. And this was happening for about, I think it was like 2 to 4 hours. Well, within 2 hours, Harada had said, "Hey, I'm sorry for the launch." Harada's the main dev, or like the head of the studio. He said, "Hey, sorry for the rough launch. We're gonna have this issue fixed shortly." And then another 2 hours went by, and the issue was fixed, and never had an issue ever since.
Pretty sexy, not gonna lie. I like that.
I know a 4-hour dev fix is pretty good. I think most COD fans can agree with can kind of sympathize with the Mortal Kombat people, because there's been a lot of issues that have not been fixed for months. Sometimes it's weird because they're on top of it like launch day. Sometimes they'll fix issues like right then and there, and then other times they just leave them in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's to me, it's a matter of like care. Mortal Kombat to me has gotten like pretty. I don't know. It feels like it's gotten hijacked by management. Kind of like COD feels. Kind of like other games feel. Like Harada for Tekken has never truly given up control of Tekken, even though he joined with Bandai Namco and all that. He's never given up the like super poor. Like he's never given up large portions of creative control.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially with this new Mortal Kombat game, even Mortal Kombat 11 and 10 to a lesser extent, I think this one's really been driven by greed because they have, an in-game store and, you can buy some of the stuff that is in the in-game store if you just play. But I think someone calculated it would take like, I think it's like a couple days of play time just to get some of the items.
Oh boy.
And some of the items you can't even buy with the virtual money, and you actually have to like pay money for them. So,
well, speaking of, we were just glazing up Tekken.
Honestly though, I mean, I know me and you, we've never been big fans of Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat.
No, just in general, I think it's I don't think you and I like 2D fighters that much. In general.
Yeah.
Street Fighter especially. I fucking hate Street Fighter. I would play Mortal Kombat before I played Street Fighter just because Street Fighter feels so different to me.
I should get you the 30th anniversary edition.
Yeah.
Of Street Fighter because it has like so many of the games. And I think it's like $10 on Steam. Mm-hmm. But I bought it on a whim one day because it was on sale, and I don't have anyone to play with. And
oof.
I think Third Strike. I think we should try that one. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
I would be down. I'd totally be down.
Beast.
We were glazing up Tekken, but there has been some news coming down the pipeline that they are adding a Tekken store, is how they described it. I'm a little disappointed. I assume you're a little disappointed as well. And
yeah,
I don't know how to feel about it. Just more microtransactions infecting the game that never had any. I don't. It's it always starts with cosmetics in situations like this, and then 4 games down the line, it's all of a sudden, if you buy this set of gloves, you get 2% more damage or whatever. So I don't know. I can't imagine that in this game it's going to be anything else other than cosmetics. There's not too much you can sell in a fighting game that isn't just cosmetic. I mean, I guess like I said, you could add like stat buffs where it's like 2% more damage, but you're like 3% slower or something. That wouldn't really work in Tekken, at least not in this game, because if you start messing around with percentages and everything, all your moves change. All 150,000, combos into knockups, into Okies. I mean, it's just... It just wouldn't make sense, but it does make me nervous because that can show kind of cracks at least 2 or 3 games down the line that I don't like.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this like Tekken store that they're thinking of, I'm hoping it's just like you can use the fight money that you get already and you can just buy cosmetics. That would be probably the best way. I could see them, using the store. But it's probably going to be cosmetic stuff. And that's just really scummy because a lot of people, they've bought this game. It was like really hyped. You know, it's the only game that's ever. I think it's like the only game that's come out this year that's been really solid and that people really enjoyed. I think there was, there's like one or two other games that were pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like the main, one of like the main games of this year, I would say. And to have it already, this shortly after launch, to have it getting like a microtransaction store really sucks. Because, a lot of people have already bought in the season pass, and so they've already bought like the DLC characters, and we know that they're making a ton of money on this game. I think it's been the biggest Tekken launch.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, and Tekken, the additional money that they get from people is usually for the DLC characters, and they usually charge like a pretty high amount for the DLC, I would say.
Yeah, I feel kind of betrayed personally. I think you do too. There's not really. There wasn't really any indication that this was coming before the game was kind of promoted and announced and everything. And on this official announcement they have, it even says, please note that the ESRB rating has been updated with the following interactive element: in-game purchases. So if you're telling me that they've updated the ESRB and it says in-game purchases now, that is always real money. There's never a scenario in which that's the fake money that you earn from matches and everything else. So
I didn't know it was ESRB thing.
Yeah, so I mean that to me that probably confirms at least
really
like
sucks.
99% that it's real money. I'll always hold on to the one that it's not. And there's actually this comment on Twitter that I just want to read, which I know is kind of funny. But I actually found this, and I like this a lot. So someone says, this isn't a bad thing. We already have a ton of options in other fighting games. I don't see any reason to be dooming about this. This guy's response is great because he puts it so concisely. Having microtransactions is always a concern. Investors will see the revenue and promote MTX implementations more over game features and innovation. Each iteration will keep getting worse as the purpose of the game will shift to buying more in-game items. And I think that just about sums up like the greatest concern.
I mean, yeah. Every time, I think it's kind of an indication of how the games industry is nowadays, where whenever you look up Fortnite, the first thing that comes up is skins.
Yeah.
It's not even gameplay or anything like that.
Not even the game.
And there are a lot of games like that, but whenever the main draw of your game is just like the microtransactions, I always think that's a little cringe. Well, very cringe actually, but it does kind of feel like a betrayal because I was hoping to get really deep into this Tekken game, but I don't know about that anymore.
Yeah, if it ever is implemented, I plan on buying none of it.
And the thing is the guy says, oh, there's a lot of options within, fighting games and all that sort of stuff. Is there really, though? I mean, there's no other, 3D fighter out right now, right? Like, I guess, I don't think there's even a Virtua Fighter. There might be one coming, in a few years, but I don't think there's one, out right now.
No.
Unless you want to go back to a game from, 20 years ago, but...
Oh, man, look at this guy. This guy says he's been asking for this. Oh, boy. All right. Well, everyone...
Yeah, Twitter, yeah.
Everyone can slurp up their little microtransactions and fucking shove it up their ass. All right. Hopefully it's just shit skins, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. We going back to COD after this, Ben? Is that what we're talking about here? All right.
Yeah, we can do that.
I guess.
I just wanted to say this new event that they had. I was having trouble with one of the challenges, and it was because the weapon that you were supposed to use was a marksman rifle with a conversion kit. Turns out it was supposed to be a pistol with a conversion kit with no other attachments. So it took me an hour just to figure out what was I doing wrong.
Pretty sweet.
Then it took me about another 30 minutes to complete the challenge. So I was like, this is sick, dude. This is the second time it's happened where they've messed up on the typing of the camo, or not the camo. It's for emblem, but if you got all 8 challenges done, you got a blueprint.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, might as well, right? They were like pretty simple challenges that I just completed passively, besides this last one, which you had to like actively go for, because it was like, use this weapon with this thing, with these perks and this. It's like, oh my. It's too much.
Yeah.
I'm fine with. Challenges like that if it's something like, oh, just get kills while using this type of weapon. If it's something easy, I think whenever it gets like really complex like that, it's just why even add it?
Dude,
What's your opinion on the events in COD? You like them or what?
You kind of know how I operate, and to be quite frank with you, I could care less.
Damn. Beast.
I think back in the day I cared a lot about things like getting gold or doing this or doing that. Anymore, as I've gotten older and as I think CODs have gotten more corporatized and kind of homogenized into essentially the same game, like literally. It used to be a meme about 10 years ago where everyone would say, well, every COD's just the same. Like, I don't even know why you bother buying it. Even parents were saying that to their kids constantly. So, I don't know. I don't really give a fuck. It sucks it's not working properly, but I will just say that, like, it would be, to me, it's another sign of what happens whenever you start adding cosmetics over substance. Because, no, they're not the same team that makes the cosmetics. It's probably the art team, and then there's the, programming team or whatever. But to me, it shows where priorities truly are, just overall. It's kind of like expecting people to pay for a shit product, and then when your product is shit, you never fix it, but instead you're like, well, pay for this other thing while you're here. How about you fuck off? And that's kind of what that does. It's like, it's just shitting all over you.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that, well, I guess I'm not surprised because they fire like all their QA testers, but I'm surprised no one just like proofread it and was like, how do we complete this challenge? And they didn't think like, oh, it's not like obvious that you're supposed to use this, because it says use marksman rifle with conversion kit, but it's like a completely different weapon category, completely different weapon kit. Thankfully the perks were correct, but
oh man,
oh my. It's just, you would think with just a little bit of play testing they would find that, but
yeah.
I don't think they have many people over there doing that.
Probably not. Well, I guess we have some other indie darlings now to look forward to, other than,
I don't know if it's
corporatized
indie.
COD. No, not really.
Another corporate game,
baby. More slop. All right.
I mean, I think it's good that we're finally getting, some sort of competition for Call of Duty. I mean, and this game is gonna be real competition because
it's Ubisoft.
it's free to play, and it's very similar to COD multiplayer. Now, if I think they're gonna probably, they're definitely going to be adding a lot of like microtransactions, probably for just skins. Yeah, probably just for skins at the start, at least. I'm not sure about,
oh boy,
a few months down the line, but
this depends.
I think they've confirmed that it will have some sort of, cosmetic, and they got to make money some way.
Sure.
But
yeah.
I mean, whenever I played the beta, I thought it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I've I've kind of just been looking for, when it's coming out, because it is like free to play. So I'm just like, well, whenever it drops, I'll get it or I'll try it.
Yeah, I mean, I know we played it a little bit. I really actually kind of like the art style, like the way it looks, like the way it feels. I really like the shooting range for some reason. I don't know why I enjoyed that so much. And
it was a detailed shooting range.
And it was cool.
You hit the target. Yeah, I mean, you hit the targets and it shows you the damage, and you can hit them at different ranges to find out, okay, what is my weapon? Where's my weapon the most effective? And you don't have to go to to an external source to find that out, like YouTube or like a website to find out like the gun stats and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like how it's in game instead of out of the game.
I agree. It's very nice. Very, very nice. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think the only thing I don't really enjoy too much is like the movement. It kind of can. I think it's a game that's better played on keyboard, because I played on controller and it just felt a little off.
I agree, 1,000%. Anything with a lot of movement is just better on keyboard.
To me, it kind of feels like Rainbow Six Siege on controller versus like keyboard.
Oh yeah,
it just feels a little more stiff than it should.
Ubi way
on a controller. Yeah,
feels like an Ubi game. So if you don't like the way Rainbow Six feels, not gonna like the way that X Defiant feels.
And I mean, it's not as slow as Rainbow, but it's just got that clunkiness to it, I think.
It does for sure. Yeah. I mean, I like it. I'm always happy when there's more competition in the market.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Speaking of competition in the market, okay, a game that I found out actually just out about yesterday is called Rollin' Rascal. Doesn't have a G. Rollin' Rascal. It is a 3D action Sonic platformer. Kind of looks like Frontier, but I believe it's much more on rails than I believe Frontier was. The stages appear to be straight line shots, and there is a demo that I need to play. But I'm real excited because Sonic has been doing okay recently, but whenever they have their bad periods, they have their bad periods. So I'm always excited for Sonic to get some more heat and competition. So. Yeah.
I mean, personally for me, I mean, you and me both, we love Sonic. We've played Adventure 2 back in the day. And I've always wanted another adventure game, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Oof.
And,
nope.
Recently Sonic has been doing a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
He had, Sonic Mania, and then more recently, Sonic Forces was kind of the only bad part of Sonic, like that whole year of 2017 for Sonic. Then you've had the movie, you've had Frontiers, which I was very skeptical about because they love changing the gameplay every every game basically. They change the gameplay for the 3D stuff. And this year they had Sonic Origins, which was like another 2D style game, which was pretty good. It was all original stuff. And what else? Sonic's been doing very good recently, but I know me and you, we haven't played Frontiers just because, for me, it just looked not like a game that I would enjoy. And I was kind of a little skeptical just because, it's Sonic.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat there. Sonic Frontiers just never appealed to me.
Yeah, I mean, whenever it goes on sale, I definitely want to, get it.
For sure.
And then, as far as this Rolling Rascals game, whenever I first saw it, it reminded me of Sonic Utopia, which was kind of like it was like a
yes,
Kind of a Kickstarter game, I think. I don't think it ever reached its goals, but it was like a free-to-play demo thing. And then I went back and watched Sonic Utopia, and then I was like, wait a minute. Okay, Rolling Rascals looks a lot better than this.
Now, Sonic Utopia, I will say this. I played that game, or at least it was more of a demo. Honestly.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. I probably played that for like 4 hours one time. And there's like nothing to really do in it except just run around Green Hills. But it was fun to like, because I like those freestyle games like Kirby Air Ride or like the motocross. You and I both like that. So yeah, it was nice just to have a game where you just fuck around in like a real basic like overworld. But yeah, I don't particularly have an interest in Frontier. And I do believe that this Rolling Rascals game is actually more of a traditional 3D Sonic-esque game and less of an open world. But I could be wrong.
I mean, yeah, we've, with Frontiers, we've seen that, now that Sonic can do the open world thing and it can be good. Mm-hmm. So I think this Rolling Rascals game, it seems like they only have like one level completed so far. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see, because I guess it reached its fundraising goal for a Switch version. Is that what it is?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay. Is that like the top goal or is that like the first goal?
I believe that is its top goal. I can take a look.
Okay.
I will say that it does appear too like there's multiplayer racing and there's just a lot of fun looking stuff. So I'll say this: it looks like a mid-tier goal here because they've raised $117,000. And their stretch goals go all the way up to $275K, which they have unannounced for. Allegedly, at $150K, they have a hub world planned to get to all the levels. I don't know why that's a stretch goal, but you know what?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, well, with the Kickstarter games, you always got to be careful with them. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, if it's like pledge $10 and you get a code or whatever, it's like it's $10, right?
Yeah. You
can probably like bet on it, and you'll get like sometimes you'll get a what game is like a Shovel Knight? I don't know. You'll get a very good game. Yeah. And then sometimes you'll get like a Mighty Number 9, which honestly was kind of mid. It wasn't that bad. Or you'll get like some real shit MMO.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The game from the video that I can see, it does not look like there were any asset flips or anything. It looks very I wouldn't say it looks as polished as a Sonic game.
Yeah.
But
it's definitely got its own like little art style. Mm-hmm. And I kind of,
which is good.
I like that.
I mean, I don't think you want to just copy one for one.
Do we know how many people are working on this like game?
I don't even think we know.
Yeah, okay.
The main guy's name is Gabriel Gonzalez. That we do know.
Okay.
Yeah. It says Indie Game Studio, Curomatic.
That's good though. I'm glad we're seeing like 3D indie games finally.
Oh, here we go.
Because for a long while there, most indie games are just 2D and they weren't really able to compete with like the 3D game market. I'm glad we're seeing that we have a couple of those games out.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I mean, on their website, they have, wow, look at that. They have like 12, 16. They have 22 employees. So.
Okay. Well, that's pretty
good.
It's
not like a super small studio. It's actually pretty decent size.
Oh, but, okay. That's good.
Well, that's good.
It's better than just like one guy. Like, hey, I'm trying to make a 3D game.
Well, this is just for the Mother 3 tribute game that they're making. So I don't even know if you can see their entire.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think we need to keep the pulse on that one.
Yeah.
See what how the game comes together in about a year.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's.
Because I don't think this game's coming out. I don't think this game's coming out. This even next year probably.
Probably not. No.
I think it's probably like a 2026 game.
Fair enough. In other news, we got Deep Rock Galactic Survivors, which I didn't even know existed until about a solid 10 minutes ago. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it popped up on my Steam page, so I'm like, wait a minute, guys. I thought it was a new. I thought it was a new season, that they have for the game, and I was like, yo, gotta hop in again. But no, it looks like it's sort of like a Vampire Survivors style game, but it's with the Deep Rock, classes, so you can pick, which class you want to be, and every time you eliminate a certain amount of enemies, I think you can, level up. You can still it's like they have like walls and stuff that you can dig through, so it's very reminiscent of the actual game. But it's sort of like a skin for, Vampire Survivors. It's only $10, which I was like, wow, that's pretty good. It's in early access, but I think Deep Rock Galactic was in early access whenever it came out, and it's been a pretty good ride so far.
It's kind of their thing for the studio. A lot of studios do that nowadays, and it always makes me nervous. But the Deep Rock Galactic team, they're great. I mean, they're great, and I trust them with stuff like this.
Yeah.
So.
I know I didn't even know this was a thing, but I think I'm gonna wishlist it.
I will too. I'll probably get it. Let me see, how much is it when it's not on sale? Yeah, I'll probably get it. Pretty soon.
I mean, we love Deep Rock.
So. Yeah.
We love the actual game.
And I love Vampire Survivors, so.
It's a real chill game. If you play it on higher difficulties, it can get real intense. But if you play it on like the normal or recruits, I mean, I played on normal and it's pretty chill. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Fair enough. Uh-oh.
What happened?
I was clicking around on Steam and I opened up big picture mode.
Oh no. My guy went into big picture.
Now I gotta figure out how to get out of this. Here we go.
Well, I think we're gonna talk about our last bit of news.
Yeah, and I'm not too educated on this one, so you're probably gonna have to take it over.
Okay. So basically, there's a situation. We're going back to Call of Duty. There's a situation with the team owner of Optic, who is Hex, and one of the content creators for Team Optic used to be a player, Scump. So Optic, Hex, and Scump, they're filing a lawsuit, a $680 million lawsuit against Activision Blizzard. Basically, they allege that they were coerced into buying into a entry fee into the Call of Duty League for about $27 million, and basically, they believe, that Activision Blizzard created a unlawful monopoly over, the Call of Duty League and competitive Call of Duty. And so basically what I believe is happening is and this is just my opinion on it, and this is kind of from observing sort of the Overwatch League as well, is they were thinking that with the Call of Duty League, they would get Activision would make Call of Duty sort of like the NFL, and that you would have franchising and all this other stuff, and they promised a bunch of things to these teams, and then they weren't able to actually realize all those goals. And I think now they're kind of, a lot of the teams, specifically I think Optic is just trying to sort of liquefy whatever they have and get out of the league. Yeah. And I think this is like a way of them doing that, because I think Activision, I think, is has the money. Now that Microsoft owns them, I think they're just going to settle this out of court
for sure,
and kind of allow Optic to get out, sort of.
Okay.
And also, the Overwatch League did shut down earlier or late last year.
As it should have. It kind of sucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I don't know if that's really going to work out for them, since they own Call of Duty. So yeah.
And many of the fans of the Call of Duty League are anticipating that this year will be the last year for the league before it completely goes away, like the Overwatch League did last year. And I think really what it comes down to is, with any competitive game, Call of Duty included, you have to have that grassroots scene. And I think with the Call of Duty League is they franchised, too quickly, and esports just aren't there yet.
Yeah.
And I think, with the Call of Duty World League, it was sort of the same, but you didn't have to buy into it. And you had a lot more competition. Every tournament was like, it would have qualifiers, and then it was like 32 teams for the tournament. Whereas now, with the Overwatch League, it's 12, it's 12 teams, and you have to be signed first to get onto them. And it's just, it's not as, you don't have as many upsets. You don't have random teams that come out of nowhere and get like 12th, and you're like, what the heck is that team?
Wow. Yeah.
Now you just all the teams. It's kind of boring that way.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's lame. It's lame and boring, honestly. You're like, oh yes, here's the San Francisco Sassy Boys. It's like, all right, and the New York Nutters. It's like, all right. So boring. It's not fucking football, all right? Stop trying to make it fucking like real sports. It just doesn't work. It sounds silly. It looks silly. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, Doomer. That's all.
And I mean, in a few weeks, whenever all those layoffs happen at Activision, like, I think the esports team had like 72 people on it, and now it's got 12 people.
Yo.
So that 12 people are managing the whole league, like, oh, this is not good, dude. But yeah.
That's all I got.
What can I say? Yeah, I think that's all we got for this week.
I gotta take a fat dump, so.
This week wasn't as slow, some stuff actually happened.
Yes.
But it's always, gaming is always kind of a slow thing during January, because all the releases happen in November, October, December, all that sort of stuff.
Buying the games, gotta catch all the kids with the holiday money, and gotta boost up those fourth quarter stats. So, yeah.
Oh, true. But yeah, I think that'll be it for the podcast today, boys.
Yep.
And women.
Women. All right. I gotta take a fat dump, so thanks.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. Peace.